Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. I am here with Dan Smith, and Dan, it's so good to see you. You always bring stories of adventures all week long. You guys are always doing something, and Dan works with Vail Mountain Rescue, and these are the guys, if you get in a bind in the backcountry, these are the guys and ladies, they're going to rescue you. And so in the past week, what have you been up to?
2 major trainings and 1 mission.
Okay.
The major trainings were at Swiftwater. You actually have to learn how to swim in this stuff, and we hire Mike Mather, who's arguably one of the best trainers in the world for Swiftwater, to put our newer people through how to swim in Swiftwater. Then we do how to do boat lowers, how to do a lot of rescue techniques. And then our 8 hoist technicians were out with the Blackhawks for 2 days, just practicing going up and down on the cable, things like that. And then Saturday, a 47-year-old woman was riding her bike about 3 miles out in Eagle and ditched the bike and fractured her leg.
Ow.
And yeah, she was in a lot of pain because the bones were distorted. So ourselves and Greater Eagle Fire went out after her. We had, I think, 8 people going in the woods, and that's this photo that'll come up here in a second. Got to her finally. It was a 6-hour mission. Couldn't get the vehicles, the ATV and UTV, near her, so we had to carry her out by hand. And this, I think this photo that'll come up is 6 guys on a litter.
Wow.
And that's the one, and that can be fun. That may look easy, but you can wind up with very long arms, even for a fairly small person. So you have to rotate people off. We only had 2 spares on that one. So every 5 minutes, one guy drops off, another guy drops on. Then he gets about 20 minutes of rest. And all the way down, and especially when you're carrying a litter down something like this, it can get sporty.
Okay, I think a lot of people would probably, 3 miles in doesn't seem like it would be
walk.
that bad, but it took you guys 6 hours, and you had 8 people,
Yeah.
which even that was kind of
needed 20.
minimal. You needed 20 just for
But
3
we had
miles
8.
in and a fractured leg, so not even something necessarily life-threatening.
And that's what happens here. When you're out past where the sidewalk ends, as Shel Silverstein would say, you're on your own. And fortunately, somebody was either with this woman or found her, were able to ping their cell phone. One of the things that happens here, people have lately had a tendency not to call 911, but to call their mother or husband or grandmother or whatever. That doesn't help us find them. If they call 911, that system automatically locates their cell phone.
Okay.
And that's really quite a help to us, because that, and then where's your car, or what trail did you start on, or where do you think you are? You put those 2 together, you can find the person real quick.
Gotcha.
This was just right to her location because she was where she was supposed to be. And then it's just a long walk out.
So it's important that you not only call, but then that you stay put from where you called.
We've also, as you and I have talked in the past, had people that were in one place and then they suddenly decide to move and they don't tell anybody. Then life gets very interesting in the woods, especially in the dark.
Wow.
Which is when that often happens.
Man.
Oh, I'm scared, I'm in the dark, I need to move someplace. No, you don't. Because
Just
the last time that happened, that person was about 20 feet from a very steep cliff. And
no
they go the
thanks.
wrong way, they're just going to step off in the dark, and that's not going to be good.
Oh my gosh, Dan. But thankfully, we have Vail Mountain Rescue, and this is an all-volunteer organization.
Nobody gets paid.
These people are out there for the good of their hearts, and with all of their training. You guys put a lot of hours into what you do to make sure that you're the best in the business.
It's about 8,000 man-hours a year, including missions and training. About 2/3 training, 1/3 missions. This last one, 2 of us on it were a little too old to be going out in the woods, and that's fine because you need somebody in control. And all the people who went out in the woods, I think the paramedic was on the clock. He was on the Amby District clock because he was carrying drugs, and he had to be. Everybody else, the fire guys, 2 of them were on the clock. 4 of ours were not on anybody's clock. So you walk away from a perfectly good Saturday afternoon to help somebody who's had bad luck.
Right.
I mean, you didn't do anything wrong. Just, I mean, if anybody has crashed a bike, we all know how that happens, and you either land good or you land bad. She landed badly.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you
Should
were
be
there.
fine though. Yeah, it was a fracture you're probably going to need surgery to fix, but everything should be fine.
Well, listen, it's always a pleasure to see you. Thank you so much for coming in this morning. And for more information, vailmountainrescue.org. Coming up next, Megan has your weather.